Hi, my name is Annalise Henry, and I'm 43 years old. I recently participated in the Hope Beyond Fibroids Elimination Program, and I'm still kind of on it, not as aggressively as I was before because I have made some progress, and I'm here to share that experience with you. I originally was diagnosed with uterine fibroids around 2001. And in 2003, because the fibroids had grown so rapidly, I had elected to have a myomectomy. Unfortunately, the fibroid did grow back after that myomectomy. And because I did not want to have another surgery, I elected to just try different things for myself, like modifying my diet, stop eating meat, stop eating red meat, stop eating chicken. And at that time, I incorporated a lot of soy products into my diet, which was a bad decision that I didn't, was very unknowledgeable about at that time, not realizing how much of a great contributor soy is to the growth of uterine fibroids. It helps to feed it, along with sugar, meat products, dairy products, any animal byproducts, and particularly the estrogen that's incorporated into those products as well. So unbeknownst to me, I was contributing to the growth of my fibroids. And it took years. That was in 2003. I had the surgery. And a few months after that, I knew that they had grown back. And that was confirmed through a sonogram that my doctor did. And at that time, I just decided again to just modify my diet and just really wait on a treatment. I felt that there had to be other women out there dealing with this. There has to be another way to address this problem that I was having, and that I'm sure many other women were having. The more women I spoke to and opened up about what I was dealing with, the more I heard of how many other people were also experiencing uterine fibroids and not really having a good treatment option, a good option for them to choose to get rid of them. This affected my life tremendously. I'm a very spiritual person, so I relied on my faith tremendously. I spoke to God all the time. I waited on God basically and learned to wait on Him, and thank God that I did. So fast forward about 2014, I was given information about a laparoscopic surgery that was going to help to get rid of fibroids through like my belly button. I wouldn't have to go through such an invasive surgery as a myomectomy, which I had before. So with a lot of counseling with my doctor, I decided that I was going to try that. And at that time, I did have an MRI. An MRI showed at that time, I'm going to show you the MRI. Let's see the date, the MRI. Right, so that's October 2014, and it showed that I had 57 fibroids. Right, I don't know if you can see that. I have it underlined right there. 57 fibroids in my uterus. God bless the technician who counted every single one of those fibroids, because that was probably a really a gross situation. Hearing that I had that many fibroids was devastating. And I knew that my situation was grave. I call it grave because it felt like, again, felt like a death sentence. I felt diseased. I felt like I had nothing to contribute to a personal relationship. So I was kind of isolating myself with respect to my dating life. Not really feeling comfortable having to share something about my reproductive health if that situation would ever come up. So it left me just feeling very dejected, very alone, just very lost and confused as to how am I going to ever deal with this situation and live just a normal life, a life that I can feel happy with, and not have to carry around what they refer to as a 6-week fibroid, or 6-month fibroid in my uterus that is not going to result in anything positive for me. That reality was very, very hard for me to deal with, and again, it took years for that amount to accumulate because, again, I was waiting on an option. So in 2014, I decided to do this laparoscopic surgery. I didn't eventually go through with that surgery. There was a situation on the day of the surgery, which I felt it was definitely divine intervention, where my doctor, who was going to operate on me, was in a certain emotional state that did not make me feel confident with her holding a knife to my body. So I got up and left the day of that surgery, went home, contemplated what my next move would be. Made an appointment with a doctor the next day who confirmed to me that I was so anemic and my blood levels were so low that it was a good thing that I did not have that surgery, because the chances of me bleeding out was very high. So again, divine intervention. God had my back. I knew he did. I knew he was watching over me. I knew that something was going to come. And it did. December of 2015, Gessie Thompson, who is a fibroid and fertility coach of this program, the Hope Beyond Fibroids Elimination Program, contacted me and told me about this program that she was a part of, that was developed by her and two doctors, Dr. Amsu and Dr. Aman, who have done such extensive research on fibroids and the cause of fibroids, how what foods and other environmental toxins, different things that contribute to the growth of fibroids. And they put together this program that incorporated the use of supplements, Essence of Phoenix, Rigid Ease, and Essence of Fertility, my best friend. Essence of Fertility, once I started taking that right away, let me backtrack. Once Gessie told me about this program and that it would be a 90-day program initially, more if you required it, but a 90-day program that incorporated weekly coaching by her, one-to-one medical consultation by the doctors, in addition to group consultation. Depending on which program you choose, you may be in a group with other women who are experiencing the same thing, and you have that community to really talk about the process and what's working for you, what's not working, how to be more successful, how to be more productive. Just be aware of the different things in your life that impede your progress, impede your emotional state, which leads to poor decisions about eating, your health, relationships, different things. So it was so focused, that particular, that the coaching and all the things that incorporated the program. The supplements, I took 3 times a day. I also did Qigong exercises 3 times a day. And I also, once I started feeling good, I incorporated some weightlifting and other Pilates once I felt stronger. But the program, I started in January of 2016. And it first started off with transition. You transition off of the foods that you originally eat and transition to a more healthy lifestyle before you start the elimination phase of the program. Prior to the elimination phase, I did a 14-day liquid fast. It was recommended to do that liquid fast. And I did not want to do it at first because the thought of just having liquids along with my supplements for 14 days was scary. All I did was think about food and what foods I was not going to be eating initially. But that was one of the best decisions that I made for myself. It helped me to drop a lot of weight, a lot of fat that was just contributing again to uterine fibroid growth. Helped me to be focused on what I was doing and how I was taking such an aggressive approach to my health. It really kept me just on point, just determined, and just concentrating on what I needed to do in order to improve my life and improve my health and get rid of these disgusting fibroids. So when I started that program January 2016, I was, again, like I said, determined. I would have done anything other than cutting my stomach open to try to get rid of these fibroids. I was all, gung-ho about this, and I was very disciplined in making it happen. I'm not saying I didn't have cheat days. I had cheat days during the program, and it was not helpful for me. because my body was now getting used to a more healthier way of eating and taking care of myself, anytime that I cheated, my body would react, and it reacted aggressively. So that's what happens when you start changing your lifestyle. Once your body is now, used to a different tolerance of healthy foods, it is not going to tolerate those other unhealthy foods, and it is going to try to get rid of it. So I would get nauseous. I would be vomiting. Other things that I could use your imagination to decipher what I'm talking about in terms of eliminating that waste from my body. That would happen when I cheated. So I stopped doing that. I became a lot more focused and realized that I was only cheating myself. I mean, that's all you're doing when you cheat. You're only cheating yourself. If you want to make this thing happen for you, it can happen. It just takes characteristics of just being disciplined, being focused, being available just for yourself. A lot of times we just get so caught up in what we're doing throughout our lives that we don't take time to really look at how much other things can impact our health, not just foods, but interactions, certain mental states that we may be in. And again, making different difficult choices and decisions during those times, which is not always effective. So all those things kind of contribute to an unhealthy lifestyle. And that was incorporated into the coaching. That's a lot of things that I learned in the coaching. Was we always started coaching with a devotion, always starting it just in prayer, and continuing it with, some type of biblical spiritual theme to kind of take us into the week, to keep us grounded and keep us focused. And that was essential. It was essential to just being aware of what's going on, what you're about to do in your life, this transformation that you're about to go through and undertake. So like I said, I was very, very focused throughout the program. And before the program, I had prolonged periods. My periods lasted about 10 days. 3 days of heavy bleeding, immense menstrual cramps, sometimes debilitating to the point where I had to call out of work. I couldn't function throughout the day. Just took over my life. I didn't feel like I was in control of my own life. And that was really, that was very difficult to go through. Again, that contributed to me, isolating myself, really not feeling comfortable in my own skin, not feeling that I had anything to offer in any personal relationships, and again, feeling like I had some kind of disease. I was diseased. I was deformed in some way. Those are the kind of feelings that I had before the program. As soon as I started taking the Essence of Fertility and the rest of the supplements, the Essence of Fertility helped to eliminate the cramps. When I tell you that I went from having immense cramps at the start of my period to the point where I had to take Advil or Tylenol just to have the pain subside, before it got really hectic. That's the kind of life I led before that. To the point where I'm at now, or again, just right after starting to take not too long after starting to take the Essence of Fertility, those cramps were eliminated. I no longer had, that pain. I no longer had to arrange my activities and my life around my menstrual cycle. The periods were lighter, they were shorter, and I felt like I was doing the right thing. That I chose the right thing. God brought me to this program because this was his answer for all those prayers that I prayed about for years and years, looking for an answer to this problem, to this debilitating disease of uterine fibroids. So throughout that program, I tried a lot of different foods. I got very creative. I'm Jamaican, and it was very hard to stop eating like escovitch fish, jerk chicken, things like that. During the transition phase, all I talked about, or all I thought about, were the foods that I wasn't going to be able to eat anymore. Lasagna, oxtail. How could you give up oxtail? But You know, it was either oxtail or uterine fibroids, so the oxtail had to go. It was a no-brainer at that point. But I started becoming more creative, and because I ate like a lot of curries, I would do like curry vegetables, a green banana. Instead of ackee and saltfish, I would do ackee with the sweet peppers and red onions, along with green bananas. And even though there's a slight difference, it's still good. It still satisfies me, and it still makes me feel like I'm eating, you know, foods related to my culture. So it does take a lot of creativity, and that really helped. Once I had solid meals that I knew I could go to, that helped me. So in the mornings, I would have smoothies. I still have my smoothies in the morning. I have a green smoothie that involves having some greens, even like romaine is a green that I use, arugula, and I use that with water and mix that up in a blender. And then I add mango, pineapple, plantain for sugar, for sweetness, and hemp seeds for protein. And I mix that up all together, and that's what I have in the morning. That's my breakfast. And I'll have, for lunch, I'll have some soup or salad, mixed vegetables. You know, again, like I have a lot of curry vegetables. I sometimes make black bean sauce, my own black bean sauce, not from the Asians, no offense Asians, but making your own is so much healthier. I make a lot of soups, black bean soup, chickpea soup, vegetable soups, you know. One of my favorite soups from Jamaica was red pea soup. I can't really eat the red peas anymore, so I incorporate other beans that are more appropriate. You know, I use blue potatoes. So, you know, being able to make those adjustments and being comfortable and happy with those meals was very important for my progress, for me to stay focused. So I did that. The 90 days was up, and I knew I still had more fibroids, so I continued on the program. I still was taking my supplements. And in July of 2016, I had another sonogram. And the sonogram, as you can see the date, right? You see my name and the date, July 5th, 2016. And the sonogram shows that they can actually see my ovaries now, right? Before, my ovaries were obstructed because of the fibroids, and they counted how many fibroids I had. So as you can see, I had 1, right? 1, 2, 3, right? 4, 5, 6, and 7. Sorry, counted wrong. I was good at math too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? So I had 7 fibroids left. I was not expecting that news at all. I knew I was eliminating, because I saw it. It did come out during, you know, my cycle. Even in between my cycles, I would have eliminations, pain-free. You get very excited with the grossness of it, but you do get excited because you know you're doing the right thing and you're eliminating all these fibroids. So I was so elated that I remember when I got the news, I was at my parents' home in Florida, and I, no joke, cried right into my father's arms like I was a 2-year-old. Hearing that news just confirmed to me that I was doing the right thing. I made the right decision in choosing this program. It was an investment in my health. It didn't matter, you know, we can't put a price tag on our health. I'm not saying that to say, you know, anything about the financial part of it. But I will say this, that it is an investment in your health. And we spend so much money, health insurance, going to doctors, co-payments, medications that they prescribe to us. This is something that is void of all of those things, and it is taking your health into your own hands, making you knowledgeable about your health, different foods, and what those foods do when they are incorporated into your diet, what they do when they're inside of your body, and how they can lead to certain diseases. So that's priceless. There's just nothing that you can, there's no price that you can put on that. So I just feel so good that this was brought to me. You know, that God actually provided the skills and talents that the doctors needed, that Gessie needed, in order to put this program together that helps him reach so many women who just did not have a solution prior to this. So I feel good. I haven't had a sonogram since then. Because I know I still have big fibroids. I'm also taking now the Fibrosion, that helps to break up the bigger fibroids, and that's what I'm working on now. I still have eliminations, and by the end of this year I'll have another sonogram just to kind of look at what I'm working with, what's left, and how much more I have to go. But I'm on this estrogen-free diet lifestyle for the rest of my life. It has provided nothing but good health for me. I hardly get sick anymore. You know, flu, colds, things like that. I used to have a few of those a few times a year, and not even realizing how much foods and the accumulation of mucus in certain foods contribute to that. You know, it's not just about germs, people. It's not just about germs. It's what's going into our bodies. So I consider myself to be rather healthy. I'm going to show you a before picture of me before the program. And you know, I lost about 40 pounds since then. And give me 1 minute. I just want to block out my friends. Oops. Okay. So let's see if you can see me. I'm right there in the strapless dress. I had no business wearing a strapless dress looking like that. So I loved myself at this point, but I didn't like myself. Again, because I didn't feel good about just being in my own skin. I knew there was something going on with my body, and I didn't have a solution for it. So it affected me. And this is me now. I still have work to do. Every day is a new day, you know, where I, again, think about my meals. I'm conscious about it, something I plan. If I don't have time, I try to have time to make my own lunch so I can bring that to work. If I don't have time, make sure I choose healthy things out there. Salad is always a go-to thing, and I add different beans to it, like chickpea, black beans, anything like that if I need to feel more full. A lot of soups. It's better to make your own soups because the ingredients in certain soups, like the salt content and the broth that they may use, may be, have too much sodium, things like that. And you want to just know what's in your food. Because a lot of times it's not just the actual meals, the ingredients to the seasonings that are put in those foods that other people use to add flavor could be adding some type of unhealthy property or particle to your body. So being cautious and just being focused on that is really what's going to help to bring success to you in doing this program. This program is amazing. There's nothing else out there like this, and the fact that Gessie, Dr. Amsu, Dr. Aman took time out to even do the research and put this program out there, to really address this deficiency in women's reproductive health is just amazing. It's beyond amazing. So I hope that this video reaches women out there who can relate to this, who are maybe on the fence about if they should invest in this program and what it can do for them. Is it just people saying that these things work, or does it really work? Now I'm proof that it works, and that's why I really wanted to show you the sonograms and the MRI to show you that, yes, I did that with the program. I did that. Discipline, with guidance from my coach Gessie, from God, friends supporting me, and again, me supporting me, and me just again being focused and realizing that the control is now in my hands. So what I lacked before, I have now regained, and it has brought me into such a better space in my head and in my life. So if anyone wants to get any additional information, reach out to me. I'm on Facebook, Annalise Henry. I'm on Instagram. People have reached out to me, and I've had conversations with them. about the program, about my process in the program, different questions that they may have. I've spoken to people on the phone who I've never met and probably will never meet, who are considering the program, were considering the program. So I have no problems with anyone contacting me about this. Someone blessed me. So I definitely want to pay it forward, and I hope that this continues to bless so many other women out there. Thank you.